conscious collaboration, in our understanding, is the antidote to the climate crisis. If we continue on with our current ego-identified, narcissistic, tribal, and self-interest driven and personal agenda driven intentions and motivations and desires for egoic fulfillment, status, power, money, recognition, attention, position, preference, etc., that those tendencies in and of themselves will potentially be the death sentence for 1 billion children on this planet. We understand that these are natural, familiar, conditioned and tendencies within the human species, within every group and team and organization and nation on the planet. And we also understand that these tendencies are antithetical to the survival of future generations, our children and their children into the future. And that if we don't accept that this is true as a species collective, and as nations and as individuals and teams operating to solve the climate crisis, if we don't accept that this is simply true and cease immediately to operate in any of these ways and focus on necessary solutions generation and collaborative engagement in order to achieve necessary near-term results, that the climate crisis will continue to unfold, and not just 5 million people who are already dying will continue to die yearly, that those numbers will escalate rapidly. And the reason for that escalation, the motivating fuel for that escalation, the poison that will have killed those people, will be ego and tribal dynamics and desire and attachment and aversion. Those will be it won't be weather that killed them. It won't be drought. It won't be the lack of some new technology. It will be that we were, as a species, unable and incapable and unwilling to set aside our personal self-interest, our personal fears and insecurities, our personal inadequacies, our personal greeds and desires. We were unwilling to set them aside for a brief time in human history to serve the collective good and to serve this entire planet and all of its species, because all that was in it for us was me. All that we cared about was me. All that we cared about was having more for me. And our unwillingness to make a single choice, that one choice, to set aside personal self-interest for the collective well-being, will potentially be the death sentence for our species. So we would ask all of humanity to contemplate these tendencies, the inertia, the momentum of the continuity of having more and more, of consuming endlessly, of having things our way and only our way, day in and day out, in every dimension of life, as the baseline necessity of what a good life is while the world burns. Are we going to continue this insanity? Or are we going to cut it out now and see it as the cancer that it is, that is devouring our world, devouring our children's future, devouring 5 million people per year, and potentially 1 billion children, and potentially 3.3 billion people who have a lack of access to fresh water on this planet? This is a choice that's before us right now. It is the choice. It is far more a choice than to utilize or develop some new technology. This is the choice that will allow us to develop and apply technologies for the common good and apply necessary resources, money, expertise, and knowledge and technology successfully and in the necessary time available. Less than 7 years is available right now. If we are not operating every moment for the next 7 years with the recognition that this is an emergency, no different than your child or your family burning in a house next door to you. It's no different. It's no less intense. It's no less important. It's no less vitally motivating than that scenario. And anyone that is hearing this and is saying that it is other than that, I would ask you to contemplate your own integrity. I would ask you to do some research. I would ask you to step out of denial and become willing to look with care from your heart and your soul at how many species are being made extinct each year, how close to collapse we are as an ecosystem. How many people are dying each year already and are currently suffering tremendously around the world due to the climate crisis. And if you can honestly post that comprehensive research, say that it's not happening and it doesn't matter, and these people are not important and not as important as having what you want from Amazon or fast food from McDonald's, if you're really going to place those desires ahead of and beyond and above the lives of these people, and you're going to continue to do that, we'll honor that free will choice. We'll respect you for having made the choice to put yourself and your personal well-being above everything else on this planet. And that said, we won't advocate it. And we'll continue trying to reach you, to reach out to you in hopes that you'll hear what we're saying in time. Because if we don't all hear it in time and act in time, and in time means now, not tomorrow, and not 5 years from now. And time is today. If you don't hear it today, if you're not willing to hear it today, we'd at least ask you to ask yourselves why. Please, just ask yourself why and fully answer that question, because you're the ones that are going to be required to live with yourself in the future as this world burns. It's burning right now. It's going to continue to burn if we don't take action collectively and immediately, as well as individually right now. So please do ask yourself that question. If you're not going to take action now, why not? What is more important than the lives of 1 billion children? What is more important than 3.3 billion people not having access to fresh water? What is more important than the potential for innumerable species to go extinct on this planet? And why? Precisely, comprehensively, why? Thank you for listening to this. We apologize for being so blunt. The world has not been listening, and it is vitally important. It is imperative now that it hear this message, that it listen, and that it care, and that it take effective, collective, sustained action for the common good of humanity and for the common good of all species on this planet. Thank you.